We've all felt that, haven't we? That familiar pressure. A big project is looming, the to-do list just keeps growing. And suddenly, anything seems more interesting than the actual task you're supposed to be doing. It's that classic struggle with procrastination. Honestly, it's something everyone runs into. So today on the Deep Dives, we're going to try and unpack this. We're looking into S.J. Scott's book, 23 Anti-Procrastination Habits from developgoodhabits.com. And this isn't just like a random list of tips. It's presented more like a real blueprint for taking action. Our goal here, our mission for this deep dive is really to dig into the specifics, the actual actionable details within these habits. We want to show you how these details can genuinely change how you approach your tasks and will get better results. It's about giving you practical, step-by-step strategies, not just vague advice.
Exactly. And the book sets this up really nicely. It lays out a framework. First, it gets into the psychology, like why we procrastinate. Then it helps you spot the common excuses we all tend to make. And then, only after that groundwork, it dives into these 23 habits. Each one offers, a concrete solution. It's about building a new system, really.
Okay, so let's unpack that a bit. If procrastination feels like this big personal failing, how does the book frame it differently? It's not just about laziness, right? Or lacking willpower.
Right. That's a really key point the book makes. It basically says that habits, both the good ones and the bad ones, they're formed the same way through repetition. Procrastination often gives you that quick escape, a short-term feel-good hit because you're avoiding something maybe unpleasant. But the book argues the real solution isn't about gritting your teeth and fighting procrastination directly. It's more about systematically replacing it, building new, effective routines instead. So you take this huge, overwhelming task and you break it down into small daily actions that just naturally get done over time.
That feels like a really different perspective. Okay, and here's something I found super interesting. The book lists 7 common excuses we give for procrastinating. And it basically calls most of them, BS is the term used, because they apparently come from deeper things like self-limiting beliefs or hidden fears.
Absolutely. And understanding those is really the first detailed step towards shifting your mindset. So the 7 excuses it lists are: 1, it doesn't matter. 2, I need to do something else first. That one. 3, I need more information before I can start. 4, I feel overwhelmed. There's just too much. 5, I don't have time right now. 6, I keep forgetting to do it. And 7, I just don't feel like doing it. And yeah, the book digs into why these are often masks, like it doesn't matter, might hide a fear of failure if you actually commit, or maybe a belief that your work won't be valued anyway. It's protective. Or I need more information. That can just be a clever way to stay comfortable researching instead of actually, doing the uncomfortable work.
The perpetual research loop. I know that one.
Right. So the book really pushes you to challenge those thoughts. Ask why you're making that excuse. That's key.
Okay, so we've identified the enemy, procrastination, and its disguises. Now let's talk strategy. The core of this deep dive, for you listening, is this arsenal, right? These 23 anti-procrastination habits. Each one is like a specific counter move to those excuses.
Precisely. Each habit is designed to hit a specific excuse we just talked about, and it offers a really clear, actionable path. We picked out a few different ones to really explore, and we want to highlight the very detailed, granular steps involved. Let's start with habit, #1. Use the 80-20 rule to make decisions. This one hits that excuse, I don't have time right now. It's based on Pareto's principle. 80% of your results often come from just 20% of your efforts. The book is a specific 5-step process for using this to beat procrastination. First, you actually identify your key 20% tasks, the few things in work and life that have the biggest impact, like maybe quality time with family or regular exercise.
Versus, say, scrolling Facebook for an hour.
Exactly. Big difference in return on time invested. Second, when a new task pops up, you ask this critical question: does this help or hurt my main 80% activities? The book stresses never letting other people's priorities hijack your most valuable time. Third, you actively look for things to eliminate or delegate. Things that just don't give you satisfaction or real results. It's about being, a bit ruthless.
Ruthless prioritization. Got it.
Fourth, when you take on a new big project, you substitute it for a low-value thing you're already doing. Don't just pile it on top. And fifth, you practice creative procrastination. You put those non-essential, non-80% tasks on a someday list. Review it maybe once a month. It's all about meticulously defining and then guarding your most productive time.
That's fascinating. It really forces you to look past just being busy and focus on what's actually productive. It exposes where time gets wasted. Okay, so if that helps prioritize, the next one tackles that feeling of it doesn't matter. This is habit, #2. Relate every action to a SMART goal.
Yes, and the detail here is right in the acronym. SMART specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time-bound. This isn't about vague hopes. It's a precise framework. So instead of give a presentation, the book uses a detailed example like, on May 16th, I will deliver a powerful 15-minute presentation to my boss, giving an update on the Nexus project.
Wow, okay. Zero ambiguity there.
None. You know exactly what success looks like. The book also touches on the difference between performance goals, like focusing on effort, say writing 15,000 words for a book, and outcome goals, focusing on the result, like the book sells 10 copies a day. It suggests performance goals are often better for daily motivation, keeps you focused on the process, the improvement, not just the end result, which might feel far away.
Right, making the goal so crystal clear that it doesn't matter, just doesn't compute anymore. Now, for those times when I need to do first becomes the roadblock. Habit, #5. Create project lists sounds like the cure.
It really is. This one is brilliant for tackling that fear of starting. It's all about breaking down those massive, scary tasks into tiny single-action steps. The key question is always, what's the very next physical action I need to take? It gives this great detailed example of starting an exercise routine. 1. Brainstorm types of exercise. 2. Research the benefits of each. 3. Pick one. 4. Research training options for that one. 5. Talk to maybe 3 gyms or trainers. 6. Pick the best fit. 7. Sign up or buy the program. 8. Create the daily habit.
That already feels way more manageable than just start exercising.
But wait, here's the really crucial detail, the next layer down. The book points out that even step number 1, brainstorm types of exercise, can be broken down further into smaller specific steps, like research benefits of running, then research benefits of swimming, research benefits of weightlifting, and so on. 6 distinct mini-tasks just for step 1.
Okay, that's granularity.
Exactly. That's turning something overwhelming into something you literally can't feel stuck on. What's the next tiny step? Do that.
That level of detail is really the key, isn't it? And it flows right into the next one, habit, #6. Create checklists for everything. This also seems aimed at that I need to do something else first excuse.
It is, absolutely. Think about McDonald's. How do they operate so consistently everywhere?
Systems, checklists for everything.
Exactly. Detailed systems. They remove the guesswork. The book says if you do a task regularly, turn it into a step-by-step checklist. Make it almost automatic. Gives another really detailed example. A weekly 15-minute project briefing checklist with 9 specific steps. 1. Map out the overview. 2. Speak with team members involved. 3. Collect necessary data. 4. Organize the information. 5. Create a rough draft. 6. Get feedback on it. 7. Write the second, third, final versions. 8. Practice the delivery. 9. Give the actual presentation. You see how having that detailed process makes a routine task just, well, the book says brain dead simple. You just follow the steps. No mental energy wasted figuring out what's next.
That sounds powerful, but isn't there a danger here? Could making checklists become its own form of procrastination? You spend all day making perfect lists.
That's a fair question, a real potential pitfall. I think the way the book frames it, the key is seeing the checklist creation as that initial one-time setup task. It's an investment. Its purpose is to enable future action much more smoothly, not to replace it. Once it's made, you use it. The time you spend upfront mapping out the details saves way more time and mental effort down the line. It lowers the barrier to actually starting and continuing.
Okay, that makes sense. Viewing it as building the tool, not just admiring the tool. All right, let's switch gears to another big excuse. I don't have time right now. Habit, #15. Create a sense of urgency. How does that work?
This one directly tackles Parkinson's law. You know, the idea that a task just naturally expands to fill whatever time you give it.
Oh, yeah. Give me a week, takes a week. Give me a day.
It takes a day. Exactly. So to fight this, you have to artificially create some urgency. The book suggests 2 main ways. First, self-imposed deadlines. Basically, challenge yourself. If the real deadline is Friday, tell yourself you have to finish by Wednesday evening. Make it a game. Second, time blocking techniques. This means setting aside specific, dedicated chunks of time, maybe 25 minutes, where you work on one single task with zero interruptions. No email, no phone, no social media, just pure focus. And the book gives a really detailed implementation guide for the Pomodoro technique, which is a classic time blocking method. 1. Make your task list. Identify your most important tasks, your MITs. 2. Prioritize them. 3. Set a timer for 25 minutes. That's 1 Pomodoro. 4. Work only on your top tasks until that timer goes off. 5. Mark down that you completed 1 Pomodoro. Feels good. 6. Take a short break like 5 minutes. Step away. 7. Then start another Pomodoro for that same task or the next part of it. 8. Keep going until the MIT is done. 9. After you complete 4 Pomodoros, take a longer break, maybe 15 to 30
So
minutes.
you're structuring sprints and recovery.
Precisely. It's about meticulously managing your time and attention to build momentum and basically engineer focus. It makes that no-time excuse feel less valid when you see what you can do in focus bursts.
It really sounds like tricking your brain, in a good way, into short bursts of high-level focus. Very structured. Okay, one more deep dive for today. Habit, #19. Develop project-based skills. This one seems perfect for when the excuse is actually kind of legitimate. I need more information, or really, I don't actually know how to do this.
Yes, this tackles that genuine roadblock. Sometimes you do lack the skill. The book says you have 2 main options. Delegate it, if possible, or if it's important for you to know, learn the skill yourself. And it proposes a really thorough 6-step process for doing that. 1. Identify the specific skill, not just get better at public speaking. Be precise, make it measurable, like deliver compelling step-by-step 5-minute YouTube presentations. That's an outcome you can aim for. 2. Focus on just one skill at a time. Pick the one that's most relevant and impactful right now. Don't try to learn everything at once.
Avoids overwhelm. Makes sense.
3. Get an education. And this means casting a wide net. Use Amazon for books, Google for blogs, Udemy or Skillshare for courses, YouTube for tutorials. Find authorities on Facebook, maybe use Meetup for local groups. The key is thorough research, multiple perspectives. 4. Create a step-by-step plan. And crucially, start applying what you learn immediately. Don't get stuck forever in information gathering mode. Add action items to your project list for this skill and do them.
Learn by doing, basically.
Exactly. 5. Synthesize your notes. Once you've got the basics, pull everything together. One document with key reference points, page numbers, links, timestamps, and videos, plus actual step-by-step blueprints you've created, any sticking points or questions you still have, and clear action items for your daily practice. This synthesis process really helps you internalize the details. 6. Take daily action. Implement the skill consistently. Maybe track your practice sessions. It's about turning "I don't know how" into a detailed roadmap for learning and doing.
Wow, okay, that is incredibly comprehensive. Almost like designing your own mini course for yourself. It really demonstrates how even a valid-seeming excuse can be tackled with a truly systematic, detailed approach, down to how you organize your notes. So look, we've only touched on a few of these 23 habits, but hopefully you're getting the idea. The goal of this deep dive was to give you that detailed blueprint, a way to understand procrastination, not just as a feeling, but as a pattern you can change by applying these very specific, very actionable habits.
That's the core message. Procrastination is a habit, yes, but productivity can be too. It just needs to be built intentionally. The book presents these 23 habits almost like a catalog of ideas, practical tools you can pick and choose from, adapt and apply in very concrete ways. It's not theoretical, it's about practical application.
So what does all this mean for you listening right now? The author wraps things up with some advice that's really simple, but also highly actionable, a clear starting point.
Yeah, it's essentially habit #23 called the 30-day challenge. And it's straightforward. Pick just one habit from the 23 that feels like it would make a real difference for you right now. Then map out a specific day-by-day plan for how you'll implement just that one habit for the next 30 days. Importantly, expect some setbacks. Don't aim for perfection, just aim for consistency. At the end of the month, take stock. How did it go? Was it effective? What did you learn? And then the idea is you build on it. Maybe stick with that habit, or maybe pick a new one to focus on for the next 30 days. The book really emphasizes that building habits is a marathon, not a sprint. It's those small, consistent daily actions, those details, that add up to significant change over time. Be deliberate, be patient.
A marathon, not a sprint. That's a great takeaway. So the final thought for you to consider, what single detailed habit, one we explore today perhaps, or maybe another from the idea of these habits, will you commit to implementing, maybe even tracking starting today, to begin unlocking your own productive potential?